Good morning. It is Saturday, July 3rd. You know what that means? A little review and you. Now, if you're new to my garden, you're in for a treat. We dedicate part of Saturday for you and what you're doing in your garden. Well, it's really all of our gardens. It's the earth, and we're all working in one small corner.
Come on, let's plant.
After almost 6 days of constant rain, a little over 10 inches total, we got some things that are thriving and some things that aren't. The cowpeas and the purple beans are coming on really strong. Our three sister squash have taken quite a bit of squash bug damage.
But with the rain we've had, it's been pretty tough to keep after them. So, if you're not going to spray, you're going to have to tolerate some losses.
I've had to come back and wind the string around our tomatoes almost every day. That's how fast they're growing with all this rain. Some of our ladybugs hard at work. I'm telling you, this time of year, things happen fast and furious.
Our first cucumber.
Very first slip off of that giant sweet potato. Number 2. Number 3 that lost all of its leaves. And then we have the next 3 slips, and that's the triple. Yeah, we might have a decent sweet potato harvest this year. Still not a lot of change with the peppers, but they're not done. And our little tomato here hasn't given up the ghost. But the sucker we planted, doing really well. Aside from the bugs liking the sweet potato vines a little bit, our cabbages, one's iffy and one's looking really good. And then the lettuce, of course, is doing fine. In our other bale, the basil snapped out of it really well. And we definitely have carrots growing, and the lettuce is doing really good. I don't know what I did. It's July 3rd, and we have cauliflower in both plants. Turmeric's popped up. We also have beets and carrots and more turmeric. So our succession planting is well on its way. Amazing what a week of rain will do to a turmeric. That's our volunteer. This volunteer turmeric and volunteer whatever kind of squash this is seem to be doing okay. And then we turned around and we got another little patch of volunteer squash of some kind, or melons. I'm not sure yet. The last little batch of cucumbers we put in on the trellis had just exploded. I'm expecting tomatoes to turn red here just directly. Our beans are doing good, and so is my patch of wheat from my seed-free straw. I guess I'll be working on that the rest of the summer. Just look at the number of jalapenos on this pepper we overwintered. I was deciding whether or not this voluntary tomato was a cherry tomato or a regular tomato. It's going to go in a bigger container here directly. Jim, the horseradish, is doing really well. For anyone that's been following my channel, you know we planted a lot more seeds in the greenhouse than we actually put in the garden. We've been doing quite a little bit in containers. One of our sweet potatoes wound up in a small container. It's got to go in a bigger container. It's going to bust out of that just directly. Now we thought we'd try a melon up by the house to see if we can't actually control the bugs. There was some question about our big Jim peppers. Cats kind of chewed them down to nothing. I think they just helped us prune them. We got big Jim peppers on the big Jim pepper. For those of you that remember, these are the hot peppers. The seeds were a little moldy. I didn't think they'd sprout. I got 1 in the garden, 3 in containers. You know, me being the romantic I am, I planted the lettuce for my wife. Look at that. We've eaten off of them enough that they're blooming. I told you I'd get a bouquet. Our friends and neighbors are truly amazing. If you'd like to share what's going on in your garden, just email me at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. Let's take a look at Jim is growing tomatoes, peppers, basil, sweet potatoes, and more in his container garden. You can do this too. Jim, this looks awesome. Thank you for sharing. Look at Larry's tomato and pepper crop so far. It's only being grown in buckets. He got 6 ears of corn off of 4 plants. Of course, we can't forget to add a little color or cats. We hope this inspires you to join our community. Thank you, Larry. Your harvest is just beginning. It wasn't just a few months ago Les's raised bed was covered in snow. Look how much you can grow in your backyard. Les, your garden is amazing. Thank you for sharing this update. Whether it's a single container garden, bucket garden, or backyard raised beds, you can do this. Our friends and neighbors wanted to show what can be accomplished in a small area. A backyard, a few containers, or a raised bed. Walter is showing us how to be a little creative, just to squeeze the maximum amount in a small backyard garden. If you combine your trellises and your containers and your cuttings, wow, Walter, your ingenuity is amazing. We just want everybody out there to know you can do this too. Aren't these gardens terrific? Hey, let's take a look at a few more. Take a look at what Nora has done in just a couple flower beds. This is beautiful. That is amazing. Thank you, Nora. Trudy is new to our community, and she is growing in hay bales. And I mean growing. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Welcome to our community. We look forward to your updates. Denise is also sharing some unique ideas to squeeze a ton of food into a small area. Denise has let us follow the progress of her container garden since she planted this year. Everyone can grow food. You don't need a large patch of land. Our community is here to show everyone what is possible. Every one of us started with one seed. You can too. I hope you join our community and send in photos of what's going on at your house. Thank you, Denise, for inspiring us all. Leon sent a quick walkabout. As always, looking good, Leon. Thank you. Valerie is going for round 2 in her raised beds and container gardens. Those peanuts look great. Is that watermelon you got planted again? We look forward to your second harvest while your first harvest is still coming in. Just using a few techniques, you can double and triple the amount of food you can grow in a very small area. I sure hope you decide to join our community and send some photos of what's going on in your garden. I guarantee you all of the gardeners get their inspiration and would love to see what you're doing. Leave a comment down below and let our friends and neighbors know you appreciate them sending in and sharing their gardens. We encourage you to become part of this community. We'd all love to see what you're doing at your house. It doesn't matter if it's a single container on your windowsill or a traditional garden. We all have one thing in common. We started with one seed. Looking at how creative our friends and neighbors have been in their backyards, in their container gardens,
Anyone can do this. We encourage you to get your hands dirty and come join us. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.